Hey, everybody, everyone that is tuned into this. Welcome. You're seeing our beautiful faces for probably the first time on YouTube. And obviously, if you've probably seen us on Instagram, you've seen our beautiful faces before. But welcome to everyone on YouTube. Welcome to everyone who's listening. My name is Tosin, and I have my fellow KMI partner here, which is Precious. If you want to just say
Yes.
hi.
Hi guys, Fresh is here.
And to be honest, like the title kind of says, we always do these kind of Saturday sessions, Saturday sessions with KMI, where we just kind of like to talk about um things that we feel relate or correlate to our faith, and things that we feel should be discussed, especially within in the kingdom. And so, of course, like we are really passionate Christians or believers, and that is basically the foundation for everything that we do here, and even in our lives. So yeah, we just like to really just kind of have that real talk,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I suppose one thing I'd probably just ask Precious to kind of sum it up for us. Like, who are we? Because some people don't really know us that much yet. I mean, on YouTube, you've seen some animated videos, and you're just like, yeah, but you haven't really seen us or know what we are about.
What
But
we do.
obviously, we do have a video that is going to come out, most likely, well, not most likely, but in January of 2021,
Yep.
where we will kind of talk more about who exactly we are, how we came about KMI and things like that. But just to sum it up briefly, what would you say we're about, Precious? Like, what is
Okay, so KMI, Kingdom Minded Investors, we are a platform. We are people whose mission is to
yeah,
raise kingdom minded investors. We want to encourage people to invest with a purpose, the purpose to advance the kingdom of God. Essentially, that's it. So we're
yeah,
Christians, we're coming from a Christian point of view, we're children of the Most High God, and we want to encourage you guys, we want to encourage investors out there who also are part of the family of God. We want to encourage them
yeah.
to invest with the purpose of advancing the kingdom of God. That's a very rough one, but as Susan said, yeah, we'll have a better explanation next month, next year.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's been a very interesting journey so far. I mean, obviously we'll go into that in the video that is coming out in January. But yeah, and this year, to be honest, has been a very interesting year. I mean, this year has come for people's edges, it's come for people's
listen,
hairlines, it's come for people's
listen.
throats. It's just it's just been a crazy year, and
We
I
never
don't know, I'm sure
experienced
you
it.
can sorry,
I just said we never experienced it. To be honest,
we
we
didn't
went we,
at
we
all.
didn't.
And I'm pretty sure you you probably can relate. But like I was saying, I think I was saying to one of my family members that, if I was in a position where I had like my faith, I honestly don't know where, especially with this year, I don't know where I would be. Like that's how pretty interesting and weird this year was.
Yeah.
Because you're just hearing all these type of things from left, right, and center, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure you can relate to this, can't you? Like,
Definitely,
um,
definitely. Like
yeah,
it came to a point where I couldn't carry myself anymore. Like I needed my faith, I needed mercy, I needed love to carry
yeah,
me and keep going because it was just chaotic. Like
yeah,
2020, a lot of things happened. Not that good things didn't happen. Of course, we are testimonies of the positive and the great blessings that came out from this year. But in
yeah.
general, with the news, at some point, I had to turn off the news because it was
Listen,
just too much was happening. No, but
same,
wow, this year,
same.
wow,
I know, and I feel like as we're going into 2021 now, just as we said as well, 2020 has been quite interesting. A lot of things happened, but I feel like we've learned a lot of things as well. I
definitely.
mean, one of the things that I definitely have learned. To be honest, I've kind of knew in the past, but it just kind of made it even more like I worked even more in it because I felt like, listen, this is something that I need to work in. And that is
Mhm.
obviously kingdom minded investors investing. And of course, I had a bit of that mindset beforehand, before 2020, but I felt like, when when something is just there and you're just kind of doing it, and it's not, you're just like, yeah, I'm just doing it, blah blah blah. But I felt like
Mhm.
this year I was like, no, this is I need to do it properly. Um, yeah. So, and I feel like everyone should kind of be investing right now. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. Obviously, we're not financial advisors, but I feel like it's so kind of important because I believe, right, that
Mhm.
with what God has given us, the resources that God has given us, He expects us to use them wisely. And
Yeah.
if we're not using it wisely, what are we saying to God who has given us this, whether it's money, whatever He's given us, if we're not using
Mhm.
it wisely, that's kind of a slap in the face, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah. It's like,
and you're asking for more, and the one
oh
who's
yeah,
already given you,
yeah.
you're not using it wisely. So I just feel like one element of that is,
Mhm.
investing and making sure that you're using the money that God has provided for you through
Yeah.
whatever, maybe your job or anything that you're
Mhm.
doing, to kind of put it into things that, will help, um yeah, things that will help you kind of basically use it wisely, to be honest.
Yeah. Use it wisely.
Um yeah. And one other thing is because, and I think a lot of people have just said that they've kind of been ignorant in the past. They haven't really had the knowledge, and yeah, that's understandable. I mean, there's some things that it takes us to go through certain things to be able to learn certain things.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
I just feel
Yeah.
like now, sorry.
No, I said that is true. Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I just feel like now it's yeah, you know now. So ignorance is no longer an excuse.
Nope.
So I think you should leave ignorance in 2020 and
Yeah.
move into wisdom and application of knowledge in 2021, if not now. Like,
Mhm.
don't wait until January 1st, start now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
kind of leads into what we're going to discuss about things that we
Mhm.
definitely, definitely, definitely need to just leave in 2020 and just progress into a better state as we
Mhm.
move into 2021. So,
You know that
yeah.
meme where it's like, I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's like, bye. Like he, okay. Yeah, like the woman. Yeah,
Which
basically
woman?
that's what we have to I can't remember anymore. Basically, that's what we have to do to these things in 2020. That's what I'm trying to say. We have to say, cheers, bye, and just,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
move on. So,
Yeah.
my thing, I would say, I think you touched on investing as well. So, ignorance,
Yeah.
telling yourself that you don't know anything, believing that in 2020, you have the internet, you have books, you have YouTube videos, you have a lot going
Yeah.
on the internet. You can get informed. You do not need to be ignorant. So, leave that in
Yeah.
2020. Okay? Okay? Okay. The next thing, the next thing I would say would be doubting yourself. So,
Yeah.
a lot of us we kind of deal with that, like we carry this burden of, oh, what if I start this and then it doesn't come out well. For example,
Yeah.
if you've been starting other things and you've been going through other things and then you've been failing at it, it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
now what if I start this and then I fail again? Or what if I'm not even that good at it? Or what if I'm a mess at it? Like, how are you going to know if you don't start? How are you
You don't
going to know
try.
if you
Yeah.
don't put in a bit of effort to do what you want to do? So definitely we're leaving that in 2020. See, if I didn't start, if I didn't trust myself to go ahead with my dreams, I wouldn't be here with
Yeah.
Tosin doing KMI. I had to like take up the initiative. I was doubting myself. When I was like deciding to start this, I was telling myself, do you remember the 1 billion projects you started and something along the way came? Like, do you remember all of this? Like, what? But I
Yeah.
still did. And here we are. Like, I'm pretty sure like we had dreams for KMI, but maybe we
Yeah.
didn't even see this moment. Like, it's like when you're
Yeah.
studying, you really
Honestly.
don't see it. Like, but listen, don't doubt yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't doubt
Yeah.
yourself. And I think you were telling me earlier on that it kind of ties in with negative beliefs, like literally
Yeah.
believing
Yeah.
things that are not even true. You know, you have that conversation in your head, and most of the time we're talking to ourselves, but we're so mean to ourselves. Like we're so rude to ourselves. We're so mean. We're just
Yes.
saying
Honestly.
all sort of nonsense to ourselves, and then we're like, why are we not moving forward? Well, sis,
I know.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I
literally.
can definitely relate to that because that's one of the things as well that I want to leave in 2020. And it's just negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, those type of things where
Hmm.
sometimes things that I will never say to someone else, but we're saying to ourselves, like,
Exactly.
why? And it's prevented me from doing a couple of things for so long.
Hmm.
And it's just this year specifically. I mean, like, yeah, it's just this year specifically. I mean, I've been working on a couple of things personally in terms of like my own kind of well-being, and I just feel like that's one of the areas that I've just kind of improved on a lot. Still
Hmm.
improving, not perfect, but it's just, I just feel like it's so important that we just don't 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 start saying these type of things to yourself, because you don't know how much of an impact it actually has.
Hmm.
And you're saying this to your body is listening to you.
Hmm.
Like, your body has ears, as weird as that sounds, but like your body is listening to it. And all of a sudden, when you start saying all these negative things, your body is going to now be reacting in a certain way that aligns with those negative, those negative things you're telling yourself. Oh, I can't I don't know what kind of things to do. Now it's kind of hard to kind of go back and start
Yes,
saying
you
all
had
these
to come
things.
up with something.
Um,
Um,
yeah,
I don't know. Some people
yeah,
want to start a YouTube channel to do certain things, but they're like, oh no, I can't. I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to speak, or I'm not able to write, or I'm
yeah,
not able to engage. And how do you know if you don't start? You know,
yeah,
for
definitely.
example.
And then all of a sudden, when you start saying these things, you'll now start to see the things that support your belief.
Exactly.
Like, you start
Exactly.
seeing, you'll start be like, oh no, I can't speak. And then all of a sudden all of a sudden your eyes will be seeing things that confirm it.
Hmm.
But if you make take it upon yourself, like for me personally, I take it up. Sometimes, I still get these thoughts like, oh no, you probably couldn't do that. But then I try to quickly kind of, no, 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 no. I can try my best to work at something like this. I can, if I
Hmm.
fail, then so be it. I tried. That's it. And all of a
That's
sudden,
it.
your eyes will start opening up to the things that support your positive belief. If you get what I mean.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, when the Bible says, like, you know, life and death is in the power of the tongue, it's really just about what you're saying to yourself has the power to make or break you.
Yeah.
That's what I hear when I hear that verse. That's what I understand. So why not use your tongue to to turn it to breathe life into yourself, rather
Mm.
than to put death into your
Mm.
hands, into the works
Mm.
that you're doing.
Oh my gosh, preach.
I'm just saying, it's just,
Yeah,
yeah, I just feel like a lot of
yeah.
us, we need to have more confidence in ourselves. We serve a big God, and nothing is impossible for him to do. So I just feel like when we have those negative beliefs, what are we saying to God? Are we saying that he's not big enough?
Wow.
Like, what are we saying?
You know what that
Because yeah,
reminds
there's
me
people.
of? Sorry. No, I was
No, no,
gonna
no,
say that
continue,
reminds
sorry.
me of Psalms 139, where it says, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Made,
And,
yeah.
it lists all those important things and how God formed us in, like, He knew about us in the womb. And it's
Yeah,
like sometimes we get so, for example, with our appearance and with the things that we think we're not able to do, we get so lost into that. And we forget that when God was making us, it wasn't like random thing. He wasn't like, oh, this. He was so intentional about it. He knew
yeah,
exactly the skills that he was giving you. He knew
that is
exactly
so
the
true.
kind of nose, the eyes, the mouth, the look that he was giving you. And we just get so
Yeah,
caught up into ourselves. Like, why? God was so intentional about the things that he wanted us to do, and the way he wanted us to look, and the
yeah,
skills that he gave us, those natural talents that we have and that we're doubting
yeah,
ourselves. Like, he was 100% sure of what he was doing.
yeah.
So yeah,
That is so true. That
yeah.
is so true. And I feel like sometimes it takes so listen, one of the things that I have like three words. I had two, but I think I have a third one of that pretty much sums up what I kind of learned in 2020. And
Hmm.
one of the things three of the things, well, I'll just say one, was about surrender. And what that means to me is I surrender my identity, surrender everything that I have into God's hand. And and really just what that means to me is that I if if I surrender everything about me to God,
Hmm.
I feel like that is, I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Like I feel like that enables us to kind of realize that, where are these negative beliefs coming from?
Exactly.
I've surrendered everything to God, and he's the one that once I surrender everything to him, he's the one that is now going to clothe me with everything that I need. He's going to, it's all about that surrender, in my opinion. If you're always trying to do things yourself and work things out yourself, I feel like that's where things start to crop in. But I feel like once you
Hmm.
surrender everything to God and you know that he's backing you, I feel it's much more harder for us to kind of stay in a place of unbelief, or yeah, do you get what I mean?
Yes, I do. I do. Totally. Surrender is key, because when you're surrendering, you're telling God that, oh, I'm not relying on myself anymore. You're
Yeah,
relying on him, you're relying on mercy, and then he's able to carry you. He's able to, like, it's like you're not striving anymore, you're not putting in all that hard work, and then you kind of remember who your father is. That song, like,
yeah,
I know who I am. Like, I
yeah.
know who I am. Like, you remember
Oh,
who
I
your
love that
father
song.
is. Oh my gosh. Like, literally, you remember who he is, and it puts a
Yeah,
lot of things into perspective. You're thinking that this problem is too big. Like,
yeah.
excuse me, who created time? Who is able to walk between the past, the present, and the future? That should blow your mind. Like,
Wow.
listen, listen,
Yeah.
listen.
So yeah, I just feel like people should just knock out unbelief, knock out negative beliefs, and just train yourself to if you get one negative thought, just train yourself to counter that with the positive thought.
Yeah.
I think that
Hmm.
that definitely helps. And I think that's
Hmm.
one thing that people should kind of, you know, incorporate into their daily life. Um, Another thing I would say about leaving in 2020 is excess baggage. Um,
Okay.
and what I mean by that is,
Hmm.
see, for me personally, I was the type of person that, see, I always wanted to, I always wanted to um carry along a lot of people. Um,
Hmm.
see, I always I like to help people. Um, and I think sometimes that can be positive and negative. Not to say it's not good to help people, but I feel like I always wanted to carry people, um, and carry people with me to places. because I didn't want to feel as if I was leaving people behind. And that comes from a place of really caring for people and wanting them to do well and succeed. So one thing that I've learned this year that I feel like God has shown me is that when you're trying to go to places, to go to specific places, maybe a different level or whatever, there's certain things that you can't carry because it's just gonna weigh you down. Yeah, it's just gonna weigh you down. It's kind of like when you're going on a plane or whatever, or I don't know, a hot air balloon. I don't even know something that like um something like that. There's a specific amount of things, kgs or stuff that you can carry. Once it starts going over that, that can destabilize things.
Definitely.
So I feel like if you're carrying too much, it's doing you it's doing you it does more harm than good. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything to say about that. Like,
Yeah, I get what you mean. And yeah, I think, like you were saying, with helping people, it's not everyone that
yeah,
you need to help. It's not everybody. You cannot help everyone, but um, sometimes it takes a couple of experiences to actually understand that and learn that for yourself.
yeah,
And even apart from like helping people, just other things that you're doing, like it's not every project that you're going to do. It's not every social media account that you have to have.
oh
It's
my
really
days,
not.
that is so true. That is so true.
Yeah,
Oh my days. Wow.
honestly. So, yeah, so learning to kind of prioritize things. Take what you
Yeah,
need to take and drop what you need to drop. Be it
yeah,
friends, be it social media, be it again projects, be it some particular dreams that maybe it's just not the time to work on them yet. Just being able to separate that. Again, you need to have like what is your priority? Like where exactly are you
yeah,
going? And excess baggage can be really difficult because sometimes you get really attached to them. Like
yeah,
sometimes we
yeah.
get
That's very true.
really like there's so much emotional attachment to certain things and you just
Yeah,
struggle to leave them. But listen, if you're trying to go up, like you said, you can't carry it. It gets to a point where you carry too much and you start going down. At the end of the
yeah,
day, what was the point, you know? So
yeah.
2020, we're leaving that. We're not going to see that in 2021. Listen,
Yeah.
we're just
And I
taking
just,
what we need. That's it.
yeah. And when I was thinking about that, the story of Abraham and Lot came into um
Hmm.
my mind. Um God called Abraham to, is it Abraham? Yes, it is. Why am I doubting myself? See, negative beliefs. um yeah. So yeah, he called Abraham to come out of the land that he was in and to go to a place that he will show him, right?
Yeah.
And Abraham was like, yeah, he was being obedient. Yes, he was obedient. I'm 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 going to the place that God will show me, the land will show me. But let me just take Lot. Let me just take my he didn't say, Abraham, take Lot and go to a land where both I will show both of you. No. He said Abraham, nobody else. And Abraham
Mhm.
was out here trying to carry Lot with him. A lot. What came out of that story is that yes, he carried Lot along, but Lot gave him problems. He gave him issues,
Yeah.
and they eventually had to separate. He had to, Lot chose the way he wanted. He chose the land he wanted to go. Abraham, they went their separate ways, and you can see the effects of them, separating. Um, and when they were together, it was stressing them. It was stressing them out to be to kind of cut the story short. He was stressing him out.
Mm-hmm.
He was he was he was creating situations for him that he shouldn't. If he was there, if he wasn't there, those things wouldn't have happened, and that wouldn't stress him out.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that kind of, to me, that kind of shows to me that, there's some things that you just can't carry, not because you're fighting with anybody, not because, live amicably with all,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should just be gee, you get what I mean? Like, you should just be trying to carry everything, like you said, trying to do every project. This person is doing this, let me try and this, like, it's just too much. You just need to drop certain things, and in 2021, you know just be lighter. Don't be too heavy.
Definitely, definitely. I
um
remember as well the story of Gideon. It was Gideon,
mhm,
right? Yeah, it was Gideon. How God reduced his army. He had too much that was going on. He was carrying too much, too many unnecessary people. And God was just like downsizing it until the most important was left. And that's
yeah,
literally it. That's it.
yeah, yeah,
Literally.
because, and also with that story as well, that just, sometimes we feel like we need all these extra things to help us succeed, or to help us win, or to help us, but God was trying to show him that, no, you don't need all that. You just need what I say that you need. And it might not
Exactly.
look as, it might not look as if it's much, but if you have faith, that's it. You
Yeah.
don't need all that extra stuff. Look at David, and look at the thing that he had to defeat Goliath. He didn't have any sword or anything. People thought he was crazy. He wasn't carrying a big,
Listen.
heavy, whatever gun machine. I don't even know. He was just carrying a small something that people think is meaningless, can never do
Hmm.
anything,
Hmm.
and he used it and he defeated Goliath. You know, so I just,
Hmm.
yeah, excess luggage, excess baggage. Just leave it in 2020, because
Just
yeah.
get out. Yeah.
One thing as well that one thing as well I would say is, which is kind of more to do with like health stuff. One thing that I personally will leave in 2020 is just unhealthy habits. It's just, I was a person that was really into drinking coffee. I'm not saying coffee is bad. It's not bad. But to a I was in a place where I was just drinking a lot of coffee. I was drinking a
Hmm.
lot of caffeinated tea, and I was drinking yeah, a lot of caffeinated stuff. What else? I was eating anyhow, and I think 2020 just kind of showed me that I need to be taking better care of my body. Like, I
Mm.
mean, yeah, we all talk about, obviously, I don't want to bring that up here with everything that's going on in the world right now. We all know what it
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
But with that, it just kind of shows that, sometimes just need to just be wary of what you're doing to your body as well. You have to be
Yeah.
careful. We said at the beginning of this that use wisely what God has given you, which is like your money and
Hmm.
all that, but also the body that He gave you as well. Kind of treat it better.
Better.
That's, I
Yeah.
think, for me personally, definitely, I needed to reduce the sugar and increase the fruit and vegetable.
I
um,
don't know. I don't know. For me, it's like I agree, but it's going to be a journey. Okay, it's going to be an
yeah,
interesting one because I drink a lot of tea. I'm not a coffee person at all. I don't really like maybe once in 6 months I'll have coffee or something, or like
yeah,
never. But I drink a lot of tea just because I really like hot stuff. And so, yeah, I guess reduce
yeah.
that a bit, as well as like sugar. Oh, you're trying to tell me I have
Like,
to leave it. You're trying to tell me I have to leave it.
no, I think it's not really about just leaving it completely. I think it's just kind of managing it more.
Yeah.
Because obviously I like drinking hot things as well. So instead of going to like my lion's tea and all that, I will go to a different type of tea that is not caffeinated.
Okay.
Like I drink a lot of chamomile.
Oh yeah, me
Like
too.
yeah, I drink a lot of chamomile, and it's real. I love it.
Yeah.
Before moving over, I was like, no, I don't. It doesn't have milk. It doesn't have all that kind of stuff. But once you start drinking it, peppermint tea, I that's what I drink now. I don't drink caffeine.
Okay.
Like I actually haven't drank coffee since March,
Wow.
probably
Yeah.
March. Yeah. So it's yeah, like you said, it's a journey.
Yeah.
But I would say just cut out all chocolate, all that kind of stuff. But I think it's just
Yeah,
managing
that's
it a
not
bit
going to
better.
work, to be honest. It's not going to work to just cut it off. Like, it's not a good
Yeah,
long-term solution. And I think that also, in addition to, like, in terms of habits, like, definitely we need
yeah,
to take more care of our bodies. So that would
yeah,
include, like, sleeping well. Sometimes you get so
yes,
caught
that's
up into
true.
work. You want to do, like, everything, and then you're just, like, skipping sleep, and it's not good, sis. So, yeah, definitely, like, taking
Oh
care of your
gosh, that
body
is so
all
me.
round, like
Oh
literally, and
gosh.
just yeah, as well as exercise. Need to be like, you need to exercise more, but even not even
Yeah,
like doing the most, like all the HIIT and all of that, but even just going out for walks more frequently,
yeah,
trying to put that into your routine. And these are things that sometimes we're really stressed, but like exercising, going out, eating healthy, it really helps us be more
it does. Yeah,
stable as well, like literally, but we don't realize it as such. But
yeah,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah,
And I think that to just even like to go further into habits, like how are we using our time as well?
yeah,
Like sometimes you see you see WhatsApp and Instagram. Like it's great, but sometimes I'm like, I just want to throw my phone away. So many messages you have to reply and all of that. It's so time consuming. You have to be
yeah.
very conscious of
How
what
much time?
time
Yes. Yeah,
exactly, like what period of the day you're going to spend on this, on that.
yeah,
Otherwise, you waste so much time. And not just
yeah,
social media, like Netflix, like shows. Some people, I don't have Netflix, so but when I used to have Netflix, there is no such thing as watching a show and watch one episode. Listen, if we're watching it, we're watching the whole thing at
listen,
once.
that's it. That's it. Like,
Once you start. That's it.
yeah,
Like
it
literally.
is.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
and we it's just again, I feel like it's just being conscious of,
Conscious.
yeah, like all just being more conscious of the things, be more aware, I should say,
Hmm.
about the things that you're doing. I think being more aware of what you're eating, what your daily routine is, and if you realize that things are not reflecting well, then it might be time for a bit of a change.
Yeah.
Maybe a change in, like you said, the amount of time you spend on Instagram. Listen, like I was the type of person that I could be scrolling on Instagram for like, I don't know. Like this was especially a couple of years back where yeah. And I remember I maybe that should be for another episode, to be honest. But I think because if I go there, like I'll probably be here for ages. But I feel like yeah, just be more aware, and if it means you have to log out of your Instagram every now and again, then do that. That's what I do.
If you
I
have
mean,
to, yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if I post something on Instagram, um, for maybe like let's say at a certain time and reply to someone's message, I would probably like I what I do nowadays is that I just log out. And once I know that it's time for me to go back in, I need to log in again. And I feel like it's for me personally, it just helps me to control what I am allowing, like, not to be distracted all the time, basically.
Yeah. I
Um,
think there are also apps and like websites where you can get to kind of block certain things on your phone for a
yeah,
period of time. So if that's
yeah,
something
that's true.
someone wants to consider, but I
Yeah,
definitely think that like, not having allocated time for things can really touch on your like focus during the day, and there's so many things that you could have achieved that you don't. Like some
yeah,
of us, we have maybe we're writing a book or we're doing a podcast, and then you spend the entire week, you've wasted it. Time is so precious. I know my name is Precious, whatever, but time is so it's literally so precious. Like sometimes when I've wasted time, I sit back and I'm like, wow, I'm never going to get that time again. Like it's gone. The only person that can go back there is God. I can't.
yeah,
Like I'm never ever going. Like time is so important. What are you going to tell yourself at the end of the year or at the end of the month? Oh, like, you know, I didn't really do anything. It's not like we're
yeah,
saying, oh, you always have to be working, but you have to be intentional about what you're
yeah,
doing with your time. You have to be intentional about what you're letting in and what you're
yeah,
letting out, the energy, the stress, like the things you're doing. Like we need to just leave this whole go with the vibe thing in 2020. We need to leave it. In 2021, we need to know what we're doing.
Oh,
Period. Listen, we need to know what we're doing. There's no
I
time to
think
be
you just
doing,
snatch a few
oh,
edges just there. You're probably going to snatch a few edges with that.
but yeah, honestly, it's
Because
like, listen.
yeah, that is so true. That is so true. So
Mm,
yeah. So yeah, we just discussed a lot just there. That's been a lot. Like
yeah,
I feel
that's
like
a lot.
that's a lot. So we will be doing obviously another video to just kind of talk about like things that we want to kind of keep with us, I suppose, um, as we go into 2021. But I think it was so good to do this one because it just kind of helps us to figure out what we learned and what are the things that we need to kind of move on from. And
Yes.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, so guys, we're going to end it here. But it's
Hmm.
been so nice to have this discussion. And we want to know like what you guys are what do you guys want to leave in 2020? Maybe something that we haven't even
Yeah,
touched on. What are the
definitely.
things that sorry?
No, I said definitely. Like
Yeah,
probably some things
sorry.
we haven't talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. So like put it in the comments. Let us know. We'd love to hear you guys opinions and all that in terms of what you're leaving in 2020. If you're on Instagram, put it in the comments as well. And yeah, I mean 2021 is going to be a better year. I mean, especially
It's
for
gonna
KMI
be,
practice.
yeah, definitely. Guys, we have so much planned, so much is coming. So
Yeah,
subscribe, make sure you keep yourself engaged with us. We're open to any questions or anything that you want to see on the channel, you want to see us discuss,
yeah,
or you want to see us like touch on. Just let us
yeah.
know. On Instagram, we are at KM_investors. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure you go follow us. We have a lot coming up, guys. So we'd love to have you guys on our journey. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good journey with a very, very amazing ending. Definitely. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. So on that note, guys, we will leave it there. But you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will be back again with another Saturday session with KMI.
Okay,
God
bye.
bless.
Woo! God bless. See you guys.